Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Am I audible? No response. Good morning. Am I audible? Morning. Morning. Am I audible? Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. So, you are at home. So many news you are getting every day about reheat and all. So don't see the news. Government, I think government don't want. Let's see. Because it is difficult. If they will conduct, so at least 1 month, 1.5 month notice they will conduct. So it will get conduct in the August. The whole session will get affected. Okay. So preparing for the weekend. I think it should be not be there. We also want. Yeah, I also don't want. Okay. Means if they are conducting before the result, then it is okay. After the result, then it is difficult. Okay. So in the last I was discussing sine graph and it is completed. Then cos graph is remaining. After that, trigonometry will get over. And for the weekend exam, trigonometry notes is sufficient because we are learning the trigonometry for the physics. Okay. So second graph, y is equal to cos theta. So you sine theta completed, I think. Cos theta, I have not. Cos theta, I have not said, I think. And we have to know the pattern of the sine theta cos theta because they will not say that what is the graph of the sine theta cos theta. They will give the in the SHM they will give the equation and like y is equal to something a sine omega t a cos omega t amplitude in the place of amplitude they will give something and they will say what is the displacement time graph, what is the velocity time graph. So if you know that it is following the sine function, so it will be the sine graph. If they are following the cos function, it will be cos graph. So that we have to only know, okay? And in that, what is the peak values, what is the x-intercept, these values we have to know, okay? So sine theta, cos theta, what I said, their pattern are same like this, okay? Okay. Now we have to know the graph and where it is cutting the x-axis, what is the peak value, that we have to know. Sin theta, cos theta difference is what? When we are taking the 0, then sin 0 is equal to 0. But when we are taking the theta is equal to 0, then cos 0 we will get 1. So suppose I started with this. Here, this is the origin. So at 0, theta, if I am taking theta 0, so cos 0 I will get 1. So graph will start from 1. Now as you will increase the value of theta, then what will happen? Cos theta will start decreasing, like cos 60, cos 30 root 3 by 2, cos 60 1 by 2. So as the theta will increase, value will decrease, and cos 90 will become 0. Then first it will go from 1 to the 0. And where it will be 0? At 90 degree, or we can say pi by 2. Okay. At pi by 2, we got the cos theta is equal to 0. Now, after completing the 90, we will enter into the second quadrant. Second quadrant, cos is negative. So, same pattern it will follow, but it will go in the negative y-axis. Then, again, up to this, it will go. Okay. Pi by 2 to pi by 2 to pi. Then, second quadrant is over. Okay. Then, pi, then we will cross the pi. We will cross the pi means we will enter into the third quadrant. Third quadrant also the cos is negative. Cos is negative, so it will follow the same pattern, but it will go up to the 270. 270 means it will go up to the 0. What is the 217 radian? 3 pi by 2. Okay. Now after completing the 3 pi by 2, it will enter into the fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant cos is positive. Then again it will go up. This is what? 2 pi. So this part is from the 0 to 2 pi, 0 to 360 or 0 to 2 pi. This is the one cycle we can say. Okay. Now again 2 pi. 2 pi, when it will cross 2 pi, again it will enter to the first quadrant. When it will enter into the first quadrant, again all the value will start repeating. Then after that the graph you will repeat. Everybody got or not? So this is for the positive axis, and then here we can make for the negative axis. So you can see that same pattern is there. Only the difference, how we can differentiate? Sin 0 is equal to 0, so it will start from here, and cos 0 is equal to 1, so it will start from here. Okay. What is the maximum value of the cos theta? Maximum value of y. So cos theta maximum value is 1. So here y-axis I am plotting y, and what is the y? Cos theta. So this value will be what? 1, and here we will get the value what? -1. Okay. So what I said, we have to remember peak values, because sometimes options we will differentiate on the basis of the amplitude. So we have to know what is the peak values. Okay. Maybe they are giving the 2 cos theta, then here peak will be 2, here will be -2. Second, we have to know what? Where it is cutting the x-axis, where its value is maximum. So like here, it is cutting the x-axis when theta is equal to pi by 2, when theta is equal to 3 pi by 2, again pi you will add 5 pi by 2, again 7 pi by 2. So we can say the cos theta will be 0 when theta is equal to pi by 2, next 3 pi by 2, next 5 pi by 2, next 7 pi by 2, next 9 pi by 2, means odd multiple of pi by 2 cos theta will be 0. This here you will get minus pi by 2, here minus pi, here minus 3 pi by 2. Everybody got or not? So cos theta is equal to 0. Cos theta is equal to 0. It means theta is equal to odd multiple of pi by 2. Odd multiple of pi by 2. Why? Because you are getting pi by 2, next it is 0 at 3 pi by 2, next it is 0 at 5 pi by 2, like here. Here what is the value? Then next it will be 0 at 7 pi by 2. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, all are odd number. Then we can say what? If the cos theta is equal to 0, then theta value is equal to what? Pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, dot dot. So odd number we write as a 2n plus 1 or 2n minus 1. Everybody got or not? So this is the graph of the cos theta. Okay. You have to just know the graph of sine theta cos theta whenever it is required in the physics. How we will use in the physics, that time we will discuss. Okay. Completed. Okay. Okay then. So trigonometry is almost over. Then we will start the graphs. Including physics and chemistry, 2-3 questions are coming every year from the graph. Graph mainly we are dealing with the 2-3 particular graph. Straight line we have to know. Straight line, hyperbola, particularly rectangular hyperbola. In NEET it is required. Rectangular hyperbola, straight line, and parabola. Very rarely we are using the exponential. When there is a requirement of the exponential, that time we will discuss. So here we will discuss the mainly 3 graphs. One is the straight line, rectangular hyperbola, and parabola. Okay. So first one is what? Rectangular hyperbola. So when we will get the rectangular hyperbola, they will not ask plot the graph of the rectangular hyperbola. They will ask what is the graph between this quantity and this quantity. Okay. So when they are asking the graph between any quantity, means in the option they have given any quantities. So first we have to think the relation between the given quantities. We have to think what relation we know among the given quantities. Okay. After that we will write the equation, and from the equation we will decide the graph will be straight line or graph will be parabola or graph will be hyperbola. So first we have to write the, in the physics, first we have to write the equation which graph they are asking. Okay. Everybody getting or not? So how we will decide from the equation, how we will decide that graph is the hyperbola. From the equation how we will decide. So if y is equal to c upon x to the power n, y is equal to c upon x to the power n, where c is any, suppose I am taking c is any constant. Okay, and n is the positive. N is a positive real number. Positive real number means what? Like c constant. Constant means 2 upon x square, 3 upon x cube, whatever they can give. So c is the constant. Okay. N is what I'm saying. N is the positive real number. N can be anything like 1.1, 1, 2, 3, 4 means y is equal to something upon x to the power 4. Y is equal to something upon x to the power 3. Y is equal to x upon y is equal to c upon under root x. Means what I'm saying here, n can be any positive real number. It can be decimal, it can be fraction, but it has to be positive, because it will be negative. Then like suppose I'm taking the n values of -2. Then what will happen? Minus x, denominator x to the power -2. Then x to the power 2 will go up. It will become parabola. Okay. So hyperbola, how we will decide? When y is equal to any constant upon x to the power n, but that power means power of the x must be positive. It may be any positive number, decimal, fraction, doesn't matter, but it has to be positive. Then we will say the graph between y and x will be rectangular hyperbola. Everybody got or not? Or another way also we can say, when we have the yx relation is the inverse relation, like x will increase, y will decrease, x will increase, y will decrease, then the graph will be rectangular hyperbola. Because here this type of relation we know, y is inversely proportional to x square, y is inversely proportional to x cube. So when we have the y and x relation is the inverse relation, then we can say the graph will be rectangular hyperbola. Everybody understood or not? So from the equation, how we will decide that it is a rectangular hyperbola? Tell fast. No response. Rectangular hyperbola, everybody got, or any, I think I have to repeat again, everybody got how to decide the rectangular hyperbola? This condition you have to check, inverse relation is there. Okay. Inversely proportional to x square, inversely proportional to x cube, inversely proportional to root x, inversely proportional to x to the power 1/4, whatever is there, but that n has to be positive. Okay. Now, what is the graph of the rectangular hyperbola? If this equation is coming, then rectangular hyperbola graph is remember that it will not cut the x-axis as well as y-axis. It will not cut the x-axis as well as y-axis. Why? Because if it is cutting the x-axis, on the x-axis, last class also I said, on the x-axis y value is 0, on the y-axis x value is 0. Okay, so if the graph will cut the x-axis, suppose the graph will cut the y-axis, if the graph is cutting the y-axis means x is equal to 0. Here I cannot put x is equal to 0. Why? Because division by 0 is undefined. Division by 0 is undefined. So here x value I cannot put 0. That's why graph will not cut the y-axis. And here it is not cutting the x-axis. Why? Because when it is cutting the x-axis, then y value will be 0. If it is cutting the x-axis, then y value 0. Y-axis, this is the equation of the axis. X-axis equation is the y is equal to 0. Y-axis equation is the x is equal to 0. Okay. So what I'm saying, if it is a cutting the x-axis, then y value will be 0. When I will get the y 0, when x is infinite. When x is infinite, and infinite we can never reach. Okay. That's why the rectangular hyperbola graph, it will not cut the x and y axis. Okay. And that is the definition of the rectangular hyperbola, but no need to know what is the definition of rectangular hyperbola. Okay. So everybody got? And now you can see here, when we are increasing the value of x, y value is decreasing. Okay. So 2-3 places where you have learned where you have got this rectangular hyperbola. One is the Boyle's law. Boyle's law, we have learned what? At the constant temperature for the given mass of the gas, pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. When you are getting the P inversely proportional to V, then P and V graph, what you will get? So remember that in the graph, which quantity they are plotting on y-axis, which quantity they plot on the y-axis, that quantity you will take y. Which quantity they are plotting on x-axis, that quantity you will take x. I repeat again, when they are asking the graph in the option they have given, okay, so which quantity they plot on y-axis, that you will take as a y, that you will replace as a y, and which quantity they plot on the x-axis, that quantity you will replace by x. Okay. Like here I plotted the P and V. V I will write what? V I will write as a x, P I will write as a y. So what I will get? Y is inversely proportional to x, or y is equal to c by x. What is this? Rectangular hyperbola. So what is the PV graph I will get? Rectangular hyperbola. Everybody got? So many places we will get this rectangular hyperbola. Another example is what? Electric field due to point charge at a distance r. Electric field due to point charge. Electric field due to point charge. Electric field formula is what? KQ by R square. Electric field due to the point charge KQ by R square. I think you know that. If you don't know, that is also doesn't matter. Just I am showing that how it is a rectangular hyperbola. So electric field due to the point charge at a distance r, we can say E is equal to K. K is the constant. K Q by R square. Okay. Now if I am plotting the graph between electric field and R, then electric field I will replace by Y, K and Q. For the given charge, K and Q is a constant. So this I can say as a C upon X square. So Y is equal to C by X square. Y is equal to C by X square. Now again the same condition we got here. N value is what? 2. So this graph will be rectangular hyperbola. Okay. De Broglie wavelength lambda is equal to h by p. What is the graph between h and lambda and p? Lambda and p are inversely proportional, so we will get the rectangular hyperbola. Okay. So when it is required, that time we will discuss. Everybody got rectangular hyperbola clear to everyone? Now number 2. straight line. Okay. So straight line equation, everybody know that y is equal to mx plus c. That form you have mucked up. Y is equal to mx plus c, or y is equal to mx. Y is equal to mx when we are using, when the straight line is passing through origin. When the c is equal to 0, then straight line will pass from the origin. This everybody know or not? So y is equal to mx plus c is the one form we can say, and y is equal to mx is the other. Y is equal to mx, then it means it will pass from origin. Why? Because if I will put the x is equal to 0, then I will get the y is equal to 0. Okay. Now what is the m there? In y is equal to mx plus c or y is equal to mx, what is the m there? What is the m? Slope. M is the slope. What is the slope? Slope is the tan theta. Slope means in the equation y is equal to mx plus c, m is the slope. What is the slope? Slope is the tan theta. In the slope is the tan theta. What is the theta there? Theta is the angle made by the line with positive x-axis. Okay. What I said, for the slope angle we are measuring from the positive x-axis. Are everybody getting or not? So again I am repeating, y is equal to mx plus c, m is the slope. What is the slope? Slope is the tan theta. What is the theta there? Theta is the angle made by the line with the positive x-axis we can say. Okay. So if I am saying y is equal to mx, then y is equal to mx plus c, that is the general equation. Here m is the what? Slope, and c is the y-intercept. Okay. And slope m is equal to what? Tan theta. So for the slope, if you are taking the tan theta, theta is the angle with the x-axis. If you are measuring clockwise, then put theta you will put negative. If you are measuring anti-clockwise, then theta you will take positive. So suppose I am saying, what is the graph of y is equal to minus 2x? Graph of y is equal to minus 2x. So here it is a y is equal to mx. Okay, y is equal to mx. So this straight line will pass through the origin. This straight line will pass through the origin. Okay, because y is equal to mx will pass through origin. Okay, and here in the slope, in the place of slope, I will compare with the standard form y is equal to mx. So here what is the slope? Slope is the minus 2. And slope is negative means tan theta is the obtuse angle, because tan theta is negative. Tan theta is negative, then we can say theta is the obtuse. Then what is the graph we can write? We can plot the graph like this. Because from the positive x-axis you can see this is a theta, and tan theta, what I will get? Tan theta is equal to minus 2. Everybody got? Okay. So y is equal to mx means y is equal to mx, m they given positive, then it will be like this. Then that line will be the, here angle will be acute. If it is a negative, tan theta is negative, then the angle will be obtuse. Okay. Like if I am saying y is equal to x, then y is equal to x, what is the graph? Then you will get what? Here slope is it is positive, then we will get the acute angle, then we can make the line like this. And slope is 1, so tan 45 is 1, so this angle we can say what? 45. Okay. Now maybe you know the, like you have mucked up any procedure that how to make the graph of the y is equal to mx plus c. If you know that and you are getting always correct, then it is okay. You can follow your method. If you know that how to plot the straight line graph. Okay. If you don't know, then suppose this type of equation they are giving. Okay, this is also the equation of a straight line. First thing, rectangular hyperbola, I said how to decide. When it has a form y is equal to some constant upon x to the power n, then it is a rectangular hyperbola. Okay, how to decide that? Suppose they will say what is the graph between this and this quantity. So how you will decide that the graph we will get the straight line, because all the graphs you will not mug up, na? So rectangular hyperbola, by the equation you will decide. Straight line, how you will decide? When the power of x and y both are 1 1, both are 1 1, like it is in this form, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. What is the power of x? 1. What is the power of y? 1. Then we can say this is a straight line. This is a straight line. Everybody getting or not? So when y is equal to c upon x to the power n, then that is a rectangular hyperbola. When y is equal to mx plus c, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, y is equal to mx, this form is there, then we can say it is a straight line. Means x power is 1. You can see what is the power of x here? 1. What is the power of y here? 1. Everybody got? So that will be the straight line. Suppose they have given in this form y is equal to mx plus c, then it is okay. But if they have given this form, so you have the two options. You can split into the form y is equal to ax plus c. Then what you will get? by is equal to minus ax minus c, or y, what I can say, minus a by b, x minus c by b. If I compare with the standard form y is equal to mx plus c, then what is the slope you will get? Slope is equal to minus a by b, and intercept what you will get? Minus c by b. Okay. So why unnecessary we have to waste the time that first we have to convert into the standard form. If they given ax plus by plus c whole, they have given one side is equal to 0, then directly we can say slope is equal to minus of coefficient of x upon coefficient of y. Means which number we are multiplying with x upon which number we are multiplying with y. From that directly we will decide the slope. Everybody got up to this? Okay. So suppose one example I am giving. You have to draw this straight line, 2x plus 3y minus 6 is equal to 0. Okay. If I am asking the slope, so directly I can say ax slope is equal to minus multiple of x, means 2 by 3. So what is the slope here? Minus 2 by 3 directly I can say. Are everybody getting or not? Because if we will compare from the standard form, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, or we can say slope is equal to minus multiple of x upon multiple of y. So what is the x multiple? 2. What is the y multiple? 3. So slope I can say minus 2 by 3. Okay. I want to plot this graph. Okay. So whatever the method you know, that is okay. Otherwise, what we can do, suppose I am asking from the one point, how many line can pass? From the one point, how many line can pass? From the one point, how many line can pass? Infinite. Okay. Everybody getting? But suppose I am saying from the 2 point, how many line can pass? From the 2 point, how many line can pass? Suppose I gave the 2 point and I am asking how many line I can make from these 2 point. One only. Okay. So if I gave the 2 point, then from that 2 point only one line will pass, but from the 1 point infinite line can pass. Okay. Now listen. Suppose any line I am making, if it is not passing from origin, when it is a passing from origin, it will be y is equal to mx. Okay. But this, everybody know this line is not passing from origin. So when y is equal to mx plus c is there, it will not pass from origin. If it will not pass from origin, so either it will be like this. Okay. If it is like this, you can see it is cutting the y-axis at one point, it will cut the x-axis at one point. Means if the line is not passing from origin, so definitely it will cut x-axis at one point and y-axis at one point. Similarly, here also you can see, suppose I am making this line. Okay, then here also it is cutting the x-axis at one point and y-axis at one point. Any line you can take. Suppose you are taking this line. then it is cutting the x-axis at one point, y-axis at one point. Everybody getting my point or not? So means if it is not passing from origin, then we can say it will cut the x-axis at one point and y-axis at one point. Okay. Okay. So what we will do, on the x-axis, we know that on the x-axis y value is equal to 0. On x-axis, where the graph will cut the x-axis, their y value will be 0. On the x-axis, y0, and on the y-axis, x0. It is the equation of the axis. X is equal to 0. It is the equation of y-axis. Y is equal to 0. It is the equation of x-axis. Okay. So what I will do, for the x-axis, I can say, for x-axis, where the graph will cut the x-axis, their y value will be 0. Y value is 0. I will put y is equal to 0 here. Then what I will get? 2x is equal to 6. Then x what I got? 3. It means this line will cut the x-axis at x is equal to 3. X is equal to 3. So suppose I mark somewhere. This is the 3, 0. Okay. Now I am saying for y-axis, who is getting x is equal to 9? If I am putting the y for y-axis, what I can say, for y-axis x is equal to 0. If I am putting the x is equal to 0, then what I will get? 3y is equal to 6. 3y is equal to 6. Then what is the y I got? 2. Okay. It means the graph will cut the y-axis at the 2. Then we can say what? This one point we got 0, 2. X is 0, y is 2. Now I got the 2 point on the line. I can make the line passing from these two. So this is the straight line. Maybe they will give the part of the straight line. They will not give this negative part. They will not give this part. But pattern you got, from that you can see the option, which option is the correct. Everybody got? So by this way you will get the x intercept, you will get the y intercept, all you will get. Okay. Completed. So you can write any equation of a straight line and you can draw the graph of the straight line by this way. Okay. Otherwise, if you know any other way, you know your way and you get the right answer, then you can follow your method. Suppose I am saying y is equal to 4. It is a straight line, or we can say draw this straight line. So this is a straight line or this is a point. Suppose I am saying draw this straight line, y is equal to 4. Can you draw? This is not a straight line, we cannot draw. Okay, so suppose isochoric process, in the thermodynamics we are using isochoric, isothermal. Okay, so isochoric process, we are saying the volume is constant. How we get the volume? Volume is constant means V is equal to constant. Suppose I say V is equal to 4. So isochoric process, you will get the point, you will not get the graph. So y is equal to 4. Y is equal to 4, how we can draw? Y is equal to 4 means suppose this is the y is equal to 4. Okay, here y value is 4. Now y value is 4, so here what is the y value? Here also it is a 4. Here what is the y value? 4, 4, 4. X value may be anything. I am not talking about the x. What I am saying, y value is equal to 4. Y value is equal to 4. Then y value will be 4 everywhere here. Then what is the graph you will get? Like this. So on this line, y value is what? On this line, y value is equal to what? 4. So this is the straight line that is a parallel to the x-axis. Otherwise, you can compare from the standard equation ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. A value is 0, so slope is equal to 0. It is a straight line. Everybody getting or not? So here, what is the slope you will get? Slope is equal to 0. Everybody got? So on this line everywhere I need y is equal to 4. I need y is equal to 4. So in this line everywhere y value is equal to what? 4. Okay. And slope what we will get? 0. So like which quantities, remember that because that will be useful in the thermodynamics. Which quantity is constant? Which quantity is constant? Graph will be straight line perpendicular to that axis. I repeat again, which quantity is constant? Which quantity is constant? Graph will be straight line perpendicular to that axis. Suppose I am saying y is constant. So y is constant, then graph will be perpendicular to y axis and it will be straight line. Graph will be perpendicular to y axis and it will be straight line. Directly you can see here graph is perpendicular to y axis, or I can say parallel to the x axis. So like in the isochoric process volume is constant. Suppose you want to plot the graph for isochoric process. Isochoric, you know that is okay. Otherwise, I'm saying what is isochoric? Isochoric process is the volume constant. So suppose you need to plot the isochoric graph. Then graph will be straight line perpendicular to volume axis. Graph will be straight line perpendicular to volume axis. Why? Volume is constant. So which quantity is constant? Graph will be straight line perpendicular to that axis. Everybody getting? Suppose I am saying pressure is constant. Then we will say what? Graph will be straight line perpendicular to pressure axis. Okay. Everybody got? Suppose I am saying x is equal to 2. What is the graph of this? So x is equal to 2 you mark and then you will get the graph here. So line will be perpendicular to x axis and it will be parallel to the y axis. Okay. And slope is here infinite, we can say. Completed. So a straight line we are getting in so many places, like v is equal to u plus at. Suppose we need the velocity and time graph, then velocity time graph will come a straight line. Okay, so many places in straight line we can get. Completed? Okay. Complete. Okay. So now next, third one is what? Parabola. Now how we'll decide the parabola? So on that basis of equation, we can decide the rectangular hyperbola, we can decide the straight line. Okay, now how we'll decide the parabola? So parabola, how we will decide? When they are asking the graph, first see the quantity and then write the formula between the quantities. When you write the formula and what you observe, power of any variable like x and y, two variables are there because we are dealing with the two dimension. X and y, two variables are there. One variable power is 2, other variable power is 1. One variable power is 2, other variable power is 1. Then graph will be parabola. I repeat again. When you write the relation and what you got, one variable power is 1, other variable power is 2. Then graph will be parabola. So these, on that we can decide the graph will be what? Parabola. So first we have to write the relation equation and then we have to see the power of x and y. If the power of x is 2, y is 1, or power of y is 2, x is equal to 1, then it will be parabola. Everybody understood or not? Okay. So parabola basically shape is what? Like this. Okay. Now that shape, how you are putting, like that shape you are putting up. So according that it will have the equation. That shape you are putting like this, then accordingly it will have the equation. Means basically shape will be the same according to according how we are putting, according to the orientation. According to the orientation, its equation will change. Shape will be same according to the equation, then orientation will change. I have to put like this, or I have to put like this, or I have to put like this. That depends what is the equation. Okay. So first equation, suppose I am saying y is equal to cx square, where c is any constant. Okay, positive constant why I am taking, because for the negative also I will discuss separately. Okay, so y is equal to cx square. Now here you can see power of y is what? 1, power of x is what? 2. Now from that we decide it will be the parabola. It will be the parabola. Okay. So how to decide what is the shape? When you have the x square, when you have x square, means what I said, either y square you will have or either x square you will have. So when you have the x square, then remember that graph will be symmetric about y-axis. Graph will be symmetric about y-axis. When we have x square, graph will be symmetric about y-axis. X square symmetric about y. X square symmetric about y. And we will have, when we will have y square, when we will have y square, then it will be symmetric about x-axis. If you remember that, according to that you have to put the parabola. X square symmetric about y-axis. Y square symmetric about x-axis. Everybody got or not? That is a one way to decide the what is the shape of the parabola. Agle sir will also say the different way. Okay, so x square then symmetric about y-axis, y square then symmetric about x-axis. Okay. Now what is the equation? Y is equal to cx square. X square is there, so it will be symmetric about y. Symmetric about y means how it is the left of y, same it will be the right of y. Okay. Then how you will put the shape like this. Then left and right of y, it will be same. So the shape will be like this. Now how it is the right of y, same it will be the left of y. Everybody got? So what I said, shape is same, only orientation will change according to the equation. Okay. Completed? Okay. But sometime what will happen, we decide from the equation, we decide this is the pattern. Okay. But maybe suppose on the x-axis, they are plotting the time. On the x-axis, they are plotting the time, or maybe any other quantity that cannot be negative. Suppose on the x-axis, they are plotting the time. On the x-axis, we are taking the value of time. So we know that time cannot be negative. So time cannot be negative. So what we will do? First, we will decide the pattern. Okay, pattern is this because the graph is symmetric about y-axis. But now I know that x cannot be negative, time cannot be negative. Then I will eliminate this part. So then only right part will be the answer. Everybody getting or not? So when we decide the pattern, that is okay. But suppose we know that this given quantity x cannot be negative. So negative part of the x we will eliminate. Everybody got? Like one example, suppose I am saying distance traveled is equal to half at square for constant acceleration. Suppose the particle started from rest, distance traveled by the particle s is equal to half at square. I think everybody knows the equation, s is equal to ut plus half at square. Suppose I am saying the initial velocity is 0. Then you will write the relation s is equal to half at square. Now I am asking the graph between s and t. I am asking the graph between s and t. Okay. So S I am plotting on y-axis, so I will write as a y. Half a for constant acceleration, so here this quantity is constant, so I can write as a c. And t I am plotting on x-axis, so here I will write the x square. Now what I got, y is equal to cx square. So everybody got what will be the graph? X square means symmetric about y. Okay, but time cannot be negative, so we will draw the pattern like this, but only positive part will make. This will be the graph. Okay, this part we will not make. Why? Because here this is the origin and time cannot be negative, so only positive part we will draw. Okay. Completed. Okay. Suppose same graph, same quantity, suppose I am saying here S, here T square. What will be the graph? On x-axis I took the T square, on y-axis I took the x. What will be the graph? Tell fast. Graph will be straight line. Why? What I am plotting on x-axis, I am plotting the T square on x-axis. I am plotting T square on x-axis. So T square I will replace by x. Then I will write what? S is equal to half AT square. So S I will replace by y. And half A is the constant, that is a C, and T square I will replace by x. Then I will get what? Y is equal to Cx. Then graph will be y is equal to Cx, means equation of a straight line passing through origin. So that's why I said we have to see the quantities what we are plotting on x-axis and y-axis. According to that we will get the relation. Understood? Okay, so parabola everybody got? Now next parabola is what? Suppose I am writing y is equal to minus cx square. Okay, c is the positive constant. Then same shape, what minus sign is there, then y will be negative, then you will go like this. That is a symmetric about y, but negative is there, so the graph will be this. Okay, then same shape you will put below. Okay, completed. Number 3, suppose y square is equal to cx. Again here c is the positive constant. Then now here I am getting the y square. I am getting the y square, then it will be symmetric about x-axis. It will be symmetric about x-axis. Then what is the graph you will plot? This will be the graph because it is a symmetric about how it is above the x, same it will be below the x. Okay. But suppose y cannot be positive, y cannot be positive, y is the distance or something they have given. If y cannot be positive, then the same pattern, only we will remove this negative part. Okay, so according to the option, according to the quantity, we can decide, but pattern will be what? This. If in that case y cannot be negative, so we will remove this part. Okay, completed. And last one now. Y square is equal to minus cx. And this will be the graph. Okay. So these are the parabola. Completed. So h is equal to half gt square, s is equal to ut plus half at square. In the potential energy stored in the spring, u is equal to half kx square. In SHM, you will get the potential energy. Potential energy in the SHM is the half m omega square x square. Kinetic energy and the displacement graph, means so many places you will get the parabola. Okay, and how to decide we will get the parabola? That is a basis, means you have to see the power of x and y. One variable power will be 1, other variable power will be 2. Okay, completed. So exponential variation, that what I said, if it is required, that time we will say in the physics. Very rare places we are getting the exponential graph. Okay, in the bio also maybe you will learn. Completed. Okay, so this is about the graph. Now, binomial we have given in the syllabus, but binomial theorem we are not using more in the physics. One thing I think everybody know the formula of the a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square. Everybody has idea about that or not? A plus b whole square, a minus b whole square. Okay. Third, sometime we require a square minus b square, that is equal to a minus b into a plus b. Okay. So mainly what is the binomial expansion we are using in the physics? Sometime we will get this type of expression. Suppose I am saying y is equal to 1 plus x to the power n. Okay, if n is a 2, then you can directly say 1 plus x whole square. I can write 1 square plus x square plus 2x. Okay, but in the physics what will happen, this n you will get some variable sometime. Maybe it is a gamma, maybe it is alpha. Okay, maybe you will get the decimal also 0.1, 0.2. Maybe you will get the negative also. Maybe you will get the positive integer. Maybe you will get the negative integer. Okay, so in the physics what we will get, like this type of expression if we are getting. So here n may be any variable, like it may be some pressure, it may be the what I said, coefficient of volume expansion, alpha, beta, gamma, like that it may be. Okay, so or n may be positive, negative, it may be any real number, it may be any real number. So like suppose I am saying 1 plus x whole to the power 1.1. So we don't have any formula for that, like 1 plus x, how I can write the 1 plus x whole to the power 1.1. If it is a 2, then I can write 1 plus x into 1 plus x. Then I can get the formula 1 square plus x square plus 2x. But when the n is the decimal, n is the fraction, n is the negative, then we cannot write it. But in the physics, when it will come, this type of expression will come, then you can see also this type of condition will be there. If x will be less than 1, x will be very small in comparison to 1. If this type of expression will come, then x will be less than 1. And we need the approximate value of this. Okay. So if this type of expression is coming, 1 plus something, that something is the less than very small in comparison to 1. That something is very small in comparison to 1. And what is the n here? N is any real number. Any real number means decimal, fraction, integer, negative integer, positive integer, whatever it may be. Okay, if this type of condition is coming, then directly we can say y is equal to 1 plus nx. Y is equal to 1 plus nx we can write. That is the approximate value, because higher order will be negligible. So we can write this is the value. If like this is coming y is equal to 1 minus x to the power n, then also we can get the y is equal to 1 minus nx. Whether plus is there in between or minus is there, we can write its approximate value. Everybody got or not? So this, if this type of expression is coming and n is not the integer, like n is any fraction or variable, so you can see, and the condition means x will come definitely less than 1. Okay. Everybody got? Okay. So one example I am saying, suppose I have okay, suppose I am giving the one expression p plus q, and p, we are getting the p plus q whole to the power 1.5. Okay, and we have this condition, means p is very large in comparison to q. P plus q whole to the power 1.5, and we have the condition what, p is very large in comparison to q. Then what is the approximate value of this expression I can write? Okay, p plus, immediately the answer we got, p plus 1.5q. Any other answer? I was going to say, but you start giving the answers, so that's why I'm first see what is the answers. P plus 1.5q, 1.5 p plus q. Okay, p plus 1.5q. Now, means you have not listened that carefully what the expression I gave. Now listen, I said that approximation we can use when we have 1 plus something whole to the power n, and n can be any real number, that doesn't matter, but one term has to be 1 there, one term has to be 1 there. Everybody is taking the p as a 1 q, somebody is taking the p plus 1.5 q, somebody is saying the q plus 1.5 p. Here 1 is there, 1 is there. Everybody got where is the problem? Means that form we can think when we have the 1 plus something, 1 plus something, that's something we can take. Now everybody deleted their message. Okay, very good. So 1 plus x to the power n means one term has to be 1. Then we can say the one. Then we can say the we can apply that approximation 1 plus nx. So first we have to make the one term has to be 1, and other term has to be less than 1. Other term has to be very small in comparison to 1. Now, how I can make the 1? If suppose I am taking the p common, like here, I have the two option. I can write the p, if I am taking common, then I can write 1 plus q by p, and then whole to the power 1.5. If I am taking the p common from these two terms, then I can write p common, then 1 plus q by p whole to the power 1.5. First digest this step, then I will go ahead. Everybody got this? Can I write this or not? To make it one term 1, at least one thing I have to take common. Suppose 2 and 4 is there. So 2 and 4 means 2 and 4 we can take the 2 common, then one term will be 1. Okay, so I took the p common, but somebody can think, sir, I can take the q also common. Okay, this everybody got? Okay, so you will take the p common or q common? Who will say? You will take the p common or q common? I'm asking that. You will take the p common or q common? How to decide which number we have to take common? P. Why? Because p is written first. Why p? Everybody is saying p, p. Why p? Why not q? Very good. P is the greater. P is the greater. P is the greater. When greater number you will take common. When greater number you will take common, then this q by p. Then this q by p will be very small in comparison to 1. Why? After taking the p common, then you are getting q by p. P is very large in comparison to q. So q by p will be very small in comparison to 1. So which number we will take common? Greater number we will take common. Then I will get the q by p is less than 1. Now q by p I can take as a x. Q by p I can take as a x. Then what I can write this? P to the power 1.5. That is a separate. Now here I got 1 plus q by p whole to the power 1.5. Now I got the expression 1 plus x to the power n, where x is very small in comparison to 1. Then now I can write what? P 1.5, and then here I will write 1 plus 1.5 q by p. Okay, everybody understood or not? So when it is this type of expression will come in the physics, then that time again we will recall this concept why we are making like this. Okay. So everybody understood? Like in physics, in thermal expansion, this type of expression you will get. Density at the temperature T is equal to what? Rho naught upon 1 plus gamma theta. Like this type of expression you are getting. And gamma is very small in comparison to 1. Gamma power will be 10 to the power minus 5, minus 6. Okay. Then this type of suppose expression you got and you want to simplify in, want to write in another form. This option is not there. So you want to write in different form. Okay. So what I can write here, rho naught is constant here. Okay. Then rho what I can say, rho naught, and this 1 plus gamma theta I can shift above. Then I will get what? 1 plus gamma theta whole to the power minus 1. Okay. Now I got the 1 plus x to the power n. 1 plus x to the power n. Okay. Here x is what? Gamma theta. X is the gamma theta. Gamma is very small. Its order is a 10 to the power minus 5. So gamma is very small. So gamma theta is small. It is a very small in comparison to 1. Now 1 plus x to the power n, I can write 1 plus nx when x is very small in comparison to 1. So this I can say rho is equal to rho naught into 1 minus gamma theta. 1 plus nx. Everybody got? Okay. Okay. So this is almost weekend syllabus done. But one or two thing I am saying that is not the part of that is not the weekend syllabus, but that we will use in the physics. That's why I am saying just summation of the infinite term of the geometric series. Okay, that you have to know. So AP we will get rarely, and AP most of you know what is the AP. Okay, geometric progression, because that is we are getting in the electrostatics, in the gravitation we are getting. That's why I'm saying this is the GP means geometric progression. What is the meaning of geometric progression? Suppose I am giving any series. Where A what we take first term, then what is the R? R is the common ratio. So if this type of series you are getting like any term, then second term we are multiplying with any number, then we are getting the second term, then again same number we are multiplying, then we are getting the third. So this type of series is called the geometric series, okay. And here R is called the common ratio. First term we are representing by A. And R is the common ratio. Common ratio means what? It is a basically R, I can say what? Second term by first term, or we can say what? Third term by second term, like that we can say. Means it is the ratio of the consecutive term. Then that is called the common ratio. If this type of series you are getting, means we have to add something. In that is a form of series. And what we are able to, we are getting what? Second term upon first term, that is a some number, and it will be equal to the third term upon second term, means there is a common ratio in all the number. Then that series is called the geometric series. Okay, there is a formula for the n term also, but in the NEET we always, most of the time we always require the infinite. We don't require the n term summation. Okay, so when this type of expression is there and we need the sum of infinite term, then that formula is what? A upon 1 minus R. Remember that, because this we are using in so many places. What is the sum of infinite term? S is equal to A upon 1 minus R, where A is the first term, R is the common ratio. Write it fast. Okay. So one example I will give. Now I am saying the this is extended up to the infinite term. 1 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 16 plus 1 by 64. Now here if you see that first term is what? 1. Okay. Second term upon first term. Second term upon first term is equal to what? That is equal to what? 1 by 4. Okay. Or I can take third upon second, also I will get what? 1 by 4. Now it means it is a geometric progression with the common ratio 1 by 4. First term is the 1. Now what is the summation? I can say S is equal to A upon 1 minus R. So S what I can say? 1 upon 1 minus 1 by 4. Then what we will get? 4 by 3. Everybody got? Okay, so remember the formula, remember the geometric series, and when it is required, different, then if I require, then I will explain. If the class are required, then he will explain. Okay. Anybody has doubt, then you can ask. So this week's syllabus completed early, but from the next week, it will be active because regular syllabus will start, and that much of time we will never have. Notes for this weekend, notes is enough. Kinematics next week, maybe I will start the unit dimension, Akhilesh sir will start the vector, and then after that kinematics. Why you are waiting for the kinematics? No need to practice because what I said, we don't have to learn the trigonometry. No? We have to learn the mathematical tool for the physics, means we have to know the concept of the trigonometry. Okay, so that's why whatever I have discussed in the class, you have to practice all the questions again properly. That is enough. Okay. Okay, then bye bye. Okay.